that those of you who have been to these events in the past know that usually I have carefully scripted remarks, every word written out in time so I can see it without my glasses. And I want each of those words to be carefully chosen. Today, I'm changing things up a little bit. These are all of my notes from the speech, and I'm going to just discuss that. I'm going to have a segment of audience participation, which I'll talk to you about in a second. So, why are we here? Today is Memorial Day. Today is the day where we honor those who died as a result of their service in the armed forces of the United States. And it's a sovereign day. It's not a celebration. It is a day to remember and a day to honor. And to a certain extent, every day should be Memorial Day. We should honor those who fell in the service of the country. We don't. One of the phrases that's common on Memorial Day is they made the ultimate sacrifice. And I feel that that's sort of almost sanitizes it. They gave up everything. They gave up everything. They gave up foggy mornings drinking coffee. They gave up barbecues. They gave up riding on their boats. They gave up graduations and weddings and everything else. They gave up their entire lives in service to the United States. And they died in many different ways. And some of them died because of the result of enemy action. Some died in service, but for other reasons, accidents, illness, or suicide. And some of them died after they were out of service. They're no longer active duty as a result of their service. What happened to them during their service? And I'm going to talk about three people that I have some connection to. Well, the first not, but the other two, yes. And how they died, and how they were related to the military. And I'm going to ask each of you in the audience, should you choose to please think of someone you know who died as a result of their service, and say a few words about them as well. So I'll start with someone who I think those who served in Vietnam know all too well. His name was Michael Lassie. He died during enemy action defending a besieged city in Vietnam in May of 1972, May 11th, 1972. And his body was recovered in November of 72. And because of bureaucratic mess-ups, which I think everyone who works with the military knows about this also, then his identification was separated from his remains. And for many years, he was interred in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier before they were able to finally connect him with who he was and return him to the United States. He's one of the three who died who I want to speak about. The second person is a member of my wife's family. He would have been my uncle-in-law, but he has died, so he was given that title posthumously. His name was John Martz, and he was an active duty sailor, I believe in the 1970s, is that correct?
Sure.
And he had we believe he had some mental health issues and some physical issues, and he was unable to deal with those, and he took his own life while on duty. And so we want to honor John Martz today also. And the last person is someone I worked with. He was an engineer at the facility where I worked for many years. He kept the place running. Friendly guy, very nice, also a Vietnam veteran. And he died this spring from kidney cancer. It was almost certainly caused by the Agent Orange he was exposed to in Vietnam. And I retired a few years ago, and I only saw him a few times a year. He was always upbeat and optimistic, but cancer finally got to him. So we honor him also for his service and for dying as a result of that service. Now, maybe you should call it.
Her husband, Kenneth Talley, served as a Marine, and he was stationed at Camp Lejeune For those of you who don't know about Camp Lejeune, the groundwater there was poisoned, and pretty much everybody who served there has died of some neurological or kidney problem, and Kenneth is among them. He also has a child who suffered a birth injury as a result of Kenneth's exposure and is severely disabled. Kenneth has dementia now, and it's bad, and he should be, enjoying his children coming of age, but instead his wife is caring for him, and with all the problems that came from him serving at Camp Lejeune.
Oh, am I next?
You are.
I don't know if it's fortunate or not, but of my friends and family that I know who served, none of them died in battle. That's not to say I don't have friends who know of other people. I think the closest I have is my gentleman I consider my grandfather, my grandmother's second husband. He was a test pilot at Langley during the First World War. And he knew other test pilots who died while trying out new biplanes at that field. And he would have pictures of him in his photo album that he passed down to me. And I see these people when I look at that album and look at the members of his aero squadron that he was part of. He was part of the it was the 94th Aero Squadron. It was a squadron under the command of Billy Mitchell that he served as a test pilot. I always see those images of those folks who passed away. Thank you, David.
I guess I will. I don't have personal family or friends who passed away in the armed forces, but I'll just take this moment to honor Aaron Bushnell, who felt complicit in the genocide in Gaza that's going on, and felt like the best thing he could do about that was to take his own life. So,
all right, in Cooper State, I have a couple of friends of mine that I've lost to the war in Afghanistan. 2009, 2010, my unit is the B-23rd in my battalion out of Fort Meade, which is not too far from here. And on November 13, 2009, we just got around the country about 3 weeks prior, and Corporal Kaufman was a friend of mine. He was on a patrol in the area. I forget which province, connect our province, but anyways, convoy came on attack. They struck a roadside IED. His MRAP, the entire crew that was with the couple Marines, a couple of soldiers, and a couple of civilians were all fatally injured. And, it was our 3rd week there, and as you talk about it, because we just arrived there, we getting settled in, learning the area, and that happened. Immediately since we got there. That's when I realized that this is definitely the real thing, the real deal. He left behind his parents, didn't have any children, but he had a lot of nephews he took care of. He was a Baltimore native, great guy. And then Corporal Kaufman. And about a few years after we redeployed, we returned back to the States. A friend of mine, her name was Shanna Golden. She was a sergeant. We were in the same platoon. My good friend of mine, I've known her since 2007. We were really close, best friends, in the unit. We call each other, how you doing, to your family, check on Christmas every year. We maintained a relationship after the war. But I did not know that she was going through some pain internally, to the point where in 2015, she intentionally overdosed, and on Fort Meade. Again, it was something that we didn't know. So some people do suffer from these things without even sharing them with others, and you just never know. But it was basically related to her stress level after being from combat environment and seeing atrocities and seeing things that the average person shouldn't see. All veterans that served, we do appreciate everyone acknowledging us and taking the time to let us share all the stories. These are our people. The people is our family, relatives, acquaintances. These are the people. They all have a story, like the mayor said. They've all had lives. They had stories. They had families. They had history. They had life like we all do. And this day, we do want to honor that. So we do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share with you guys. And pray everyone that's serving and still serving, seeing the good fight. If anyone needs help, definitely seek it. No shame.
Thank you all for sharing that. And now let's please place the wreath